I'm George Currie. I'm a Senior Policy Advisor here at the Pensions and Lifetime Savings Association. Today I'm going to talk you through our recent consultation on hitting the target. In this presentation, I'm going to set out some context on the retirement savings environment before moving on to give you an overview of the proposals that we made in our Hitting the Target consultation. I'll then set out our flagship proposal, which is for the creation of a series of national retirement income targets to give savers a better understanding of what they're saving towards. Finally, I'll set out some member feedback on these retirement income targets that we've received in the course of our consultation and give you an overview of the next steps in our project. Since the introduction of automatic enrolment, we've seen a dramatic increase in the number of people saving for retirement. This is a real success story, and the success has been most pronounced in the private sector. As we can see from this graph, just under 70% of employees are now saving for their retirement. Despite the important progress that has been made as a result of the automatic enrolment policy, we know that there are a series of cost and income pressures that are going to affect future retirees. The first of these is the low level of pension saving that is currently taking place. According to PLSA research conducted in 2016, we know that only around 39% of millennials are on course to achieve an adequate income in retirement. This is supplemented by other low levels of saving. In particular, the Pensions Policy Institute recently identified that by 2030, around 50% of retirees will have no or limited property wealth. Alongside the income pressures that future retirees are likely to face, there are various cost pressures which will also impact on their income. First amongst these is longevity. People are living longer, which is a good thing, but we know that as a result of living longer, people will need to have greater assets in retirement in order to support their later life. Linked to longevity is the possibility of people needing social care in later life. We know that around 16% of 65-year-olds have one chronic health condition, and this rises to around 50% of people when we get to 85. Alongside costs linked to longevity are the costs that will result from lower levels of housing ownership. People in retirement will increasingly be renting in the future, or they will be paying mortgage costs further into later life. Hitting the Target makes proposals in relation to a wide variety of areas linked to retirement. The first, as I've already mentioned, is in regard to a series of new national retirement income targets that will help people plan more effectively for later life. The second is automatic enrolment, where we make a series of proposals about where the existing system can be improved to give people better options in their retirement. Pensions tax relief is the third area that we address in this consultation. And we ask the simple question: can pensions tax relief be modified in order to support savers more effectively throughout their savings journey? We then address two non-traditional retirement income topics. We make proposals about how people can use their property wealth more effectively in later life, and whether there's more we can do to support them in their use of their human capital as they move into retirement. We follow our discussion of the accumulation side of the retirement savings journey with a series of proposals on how schemes can improve to help savers make the most of their savings. Next, we make proposals on how decumulation pathways can be changed in order to help people make the right choices at and in retirement. Finally, all of this is underpinned by good and appropriate engagement throughout the course of the retirement savings journey. Our consultation makes proposals on how engagement can change to ensure that it is right, at the right time, and in the right format. Our flagship proposal in Hitting the Target relates to the creation of a series of new national retirement income targets to help people save for retirement more effectively. We all know that targets can help people to make positive changes in their behaviour. One of the most familiar is the 5-a-day target, which we all recognise. Evidence suggests that this target has helped people to change their behaviour and eat more fruit and vegetables. A similar approach has been used in the retirement savings world. In Australia, in 2004, a series of retirement income standards were introduced to help people to understand how much they needed to save over the course of their lives in order to enjoy a defined standard of living. The Australian retirement income standards identify 3 possible standards of living. The first is related to the age pension, which is the Australian equivalent of our state pension. The second is a modest standard of living that people can enjoy in retirement. And the third, finally, relates to a comfortable standard of living. The 2 standards above the level of the age pension are based on the creation of a basket of goods. For example, someone who has an income at the level of the comfortable standard may be able to afford bottled wine. Someone living on the age pension may have to rely on homebrew alone. As part of our research for hitting the target, we surveyed UK savers to find out what they knew about how much they would need to save in order to have a decent retirement income. We found that the vast majority of savers did not know how much they would need in retirement. Moreover, 80% of people that we surveyed told us that they believed that a new national retirement income target would help them save more effectively for the lifestyle of their choice in later life. So, how might these retirement income targets work in reality? This slide shows a series of potential levels for the 3 retirement income targets that we're proposing. These are just indicative levels. We need to do a lot more research in order to define the levels properly. The lowest of these 3 levels is around £10,000. This is based on the Joseph Rowntree Foundation's minimum income standard, which measures what retirees need in order to have a basic standard of living. Based on our initial research, we think that the second of these levels, what we've called the modest standard, could sit between £15,000 and £20,000, and the comfortable standard might sit between £20,000 and £30,000. However, as I said at the beginning of this slide, we need to do a lot more research over the course of this year in order to flesh out what these income levels will in fact be. The indicative income levels outlined here are for individuals. These could vary by household composition, for example, or by age. You could perhaps have an income standard for younger retirees between, say, 65 and 85, and for older retirees above 85, who often face different costs to their younger counterparts. It might also be possible to vary these targets by region to account for the different cost of living in different areas of the UK. During the course of our consultation process, which is now closed, we engaged with our members in a series of roadshows across the country. Our members gave us a clear indication of their views about retirement income targets. What is clear is that all of our members, without reservation, believed that a series of new national retirement income targets would be helpful and could help people to plan more effectively for their retirement. It's clear that our members believed that these targets should be as simple as possible. The pension system is already very complicated, and anything that complicates it further would be unwelcome. A series of retirement income targets would help to simplify pension savings for everyone. Our members believed that these targets should be developed by an independent body. Otherwise, there is the potential for conflicts of interest to arise, which could affect the nature of the targets. The use of an independent body would also help to give these targets real credibility, which can only improve trust and confidence in the pension saving system. Finally, our members were eager that these targets be as visible as possible. That means that they should be included in annual benefit statements and, when it gets going, the pensions dashboard. In conclusion, we believe that a new approach to setting retirement savings goals is required, and that a new series of national retirement income targets should be central to this. Alongside the other proposals set out in our Hitting the Target document, national retirement income targets could help to improve outcomes for future retirees. The consultation process for Hitting the Target has now closed, but we will be consulting further with members as we move through the year and develop our final recommendations. If you would like any further information on this process or anything contained in Hitting the Target, please do not hesitate to email me.